Imagine walking into a showroom with $2 million ready to spend, and being told, sorry, you're not on the list. That's the brutal reality of the hypercar world. A secret circle where money alone means nothing, and power decides everything. For the rest of us, the McLaren W1 might look like a car. But to the 1%, it's a status symbol, a weapon of exclusivity, a golden ticket into the most elite automotive club on Earth. Only 399 of these are being made, each hand-picked for its owner before production even begins. And unless McLaren knows your name, you'll never even get the chance to buy one. But what if someone offered you a way in? A secret back door into that world, a chance to own one of the rarest cars ever built, before it even exists. That's exactly what happened to me. 5 days ago, a message popped into my inbox. At first glance, it looked ordinary, just another DM from a car enthusiast. But then I read it. Hey, I'm a big fan of your channel. I'm reaching out to ask if you're interested in buying a McLaren W1 slot. A slot. Not the car itself, a build allocation. In other words, the chance to own one before anyone else. If you're not deep into the hypercar world, that might sound confusing. A slot is basically your golden ticket. It means you've been chosen by the brand to receive one of their limited cars. Usually these are impossible to get unless you've spent millions with the company already. You'd have to buy and sell multiple cars, attend private events, and prove your loyalty just to be considered. But this message, it was offering me that shortcut, a direct entry into the highest level of the game. No waiting lists, no history, just cash up front. It sounded too good to be true, because in this world, that's usually exactly what it means. Still, I couldn't ignore it. The chance to buy into one of the rarest cars on the planet, the brand new McLaren W1, doesn't just come around every day. And according to the message, this wasn't some concept or rumor. The car was real, the slot existed, and the deal was ready to go. But there was one problem. The man selling it wasn't McLaren. He was just some guy on Instagram. And that's when the questions started. How did he get this slot? Why would he sell it? And most importantly, was this a genuine opportunity or a very expensive trap? In the world of supercars, buying a vehicle is simple. Walk in, pay, drive away. But when you step into the world of hypercars, everything changes. It's not about how much money you have. It's about who you are. McLaren, Ferrari, Bugatti. These brands decide who gets to buy their flagship models. You don't apply, you get invited. And that invitation only comes after you've spent millions, proven your loyalty, and shown that you'll protect the brand's image. To even be considered, you have to own multiple models already, often cars that lost hundreds of thousands in depreciation. It's the ultimate game of status, a loyalty test where only the most committed or the most connected survive. And yet, there's a hidden layer under all this glamour, because once those cars are allocated, something else happens. The flipping market. People who've secured a slot quietly sell it, before the car even exists. It's not legal, but it's not quite illegal either. It's the gray zone of the hypercar world, a place where profits can reach into the millions. Here's how it works. A collector who's on McLaren's VIP list gets a slot for a W1. Before the car's built, he sells that slot to someone else for hundreds of thousands over list price. It's fast money, clean on paper, and completely off the radar. But there's a reason it's so secretive. Because brands hate it. They've started adding strict clauses, contracts saying owners can't resell their cars for a year, sometimes longer. Break that rule, and you're blacklisted for life. Still, it doesn't stop anyone. For every collector who gets caught, 3 more do it in silence. And now, someone was offering me a piece of that game. But if this really was my chance to join the elite, I had to ask myself, was it worth the risk? Because the reward sounded life-changing. But so did the potential loss. When I first heard the number, I actually laughed. The man wanted £700,000, just for the slot. Not the car, not the keys, just the right to buy one. The McLaren W1 itself? That's another £2 million. Meaning if I said yes, I'd be in for nearly £2.7 million before even touching the steering wheel. It sounded insane, but that's how this world works. Because these cars aren't just machines, they're assets. And in the right hands, that slot could turn into pure gold. My friend Carl, who's bought and sold more hypercars than most people will ever see, told me something that made it even harder to ignore. He reminded me of the Ferrari SP3 Daytona, a car that cost £2 million when it launched. 18 months later, people were paying £4 million to get one, a single car, doubling in value before it had even been broken in. That's the kind of return hedge funds dream about. If the McLaren W1 followed the same path, that £700,000 premium could easily become a £1 million profit. And because cars bought for personal enjoyment are often exempt from capital gains tax, it could even be tax-free money. The fantasy was intoxicating. I'd be part of a private club, one of only 399 people on Earth with a W1. And if prices went up like the Ferraris did, I could walk away richer than ever. But then came the question I couldn't shake. If the upside is that huge, why would someone give me the chance to take it? People don't hand out million-pound opportunities to strangers online, especially not in a market this secretive. It was the kind of deal that could make you rich or ruin you completely. Because when the game involves 7 figures and no paperwork, even one wrong move can erase everything. To understand how risky this world can be, you only need to look back a decade, to one of the most iconic hypercars ever made, the McLaren P1. When it first launched, it was part of the legendary Holy Trinity, alongside the LaFerrari and the Porsche 918. Just 375 cars were built, each selling for around £1 million. Collectors went crazy. The moment those cars hit the road, prices doubled. Overnight, they were worth £2 million or more. For a while, it looked like owning a hypercar was a guaranteed win. Money, status, bragging rights, all rolled into one. But then, the market turned. As quickly as it rose, it collapsed. Values fell to £650,000, wiping more than £1 million off some owners' investments. That's not a paper loss. That's a real-world disaster. Imagine watching £1 million vanish because your £1 million car wasn't exclusive enough anymore. The same collectors who had been bragging about their profits were suddenly quiet. The same brands that had promised heritage value had moved on to the next big thing. That's the game. You can't time it, and you can't control it. You just have to be lucky. And that's what makes hypercars so dangerous. If you're early, you can make a fortune. If you're late, you can lose one. The McLaren W1 was never just a car, it was a story of ambition, risk, and discovery. And now, it's a story I'll carry forever. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of hypercars, hit that like button, subscribe for more stories, and drop a comment telling me what you'd risk for your dream car. Let's keep the conversation alive. Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. The events and experiences portrayed are based on real-life inspiration, but may include creative interpretation. Always verify facts before making any purchasing or financial decisions.